Hi, everyone. I wanted to go over some of the changes that I've made to Activity 10 since the last time the course ran. So it will look a little different than it did before. So some of the things are the same. So when you're in the how-to area, I wasn't a big fan of how the content was set up for cellular respiration in the activity itself online. So I've put some information here and I've linked in some textbook pages that I think are going to work a little bit better in terms of understanding. But you can still go through the content area and have a look at the videos that are there if you like. So we've got the new tour journal video, which I am adding in right now. This video is still going to work. So your task for cellular respiration that will go into the Dropbox, the video from last year, and my instructions work well still for that one. So I won't be changing that video. Oops. And then I don't think we're going to have time to do this, the following that molecule. So we're going to leave that for this year. Maybe we'd come back to it later. But it is linked there just in case. The discussion, we're not going to worry about too much. But I have added this. So learning task 10-2 that it talks about in the content area. I've actually linked that into the content on the tour journal. So now it will be a part of what you do on your tour journal, and then it'll be assessed as part of the tour journal assessment. So let's go and look. I'm going to get rid of this. Let's go and look at our tour journal and what to expect. So at the start of the content area, there's a cell matching quiz. So if you want some help with remembering some of the parts of the cell, these are the textbook pages that are applicable. You've got your learning task 10-1, which is going to focus on cellular respiration, and you will find my instructional video there. Those instructions are the same since last year. Sorry, I've got too many tabs open. Now you've got this new edition. This part we won't be doing, and this part we won't be doing. So let's look at the tour journal specifically. You're going to go through your career connection like you have been doing, giving me the job description. The think about it question. It says, although the organ systems play an important role in cellular respiration, it's not the only thing you do. Can you think of the important functions of each organ system that are not related to cellular respiration? So since last year, I've added in the textbook pages for this after student requests. So if you go to 264, 266, you are going to see the systems, and it's going to give you the information about what the other body systems do. So you can find that information there. And then you've got a reflection question. So you are what you eat. Again, those same textbook pages are applicable from what you've learned about the organ systems and how they work together. Explain why you think this is true. So you're going to answer that question for me as well. And then there's another piece there too. Okay, so here's the new edition. You are going to be looking specifically about how certain organism or organ systems work together in terms of cellular respiration. So ideally, I would do this before you do this part of the activity. On your tour journal. So what's going to happen here? You're going to need textbook page 285. So I've linked that up. This is the page that you're going to want. And then you are going to think about, so you're going to click edit, just like you've done on some of your other images. And you're going to draw arrows, use lines and words to explain the connections and the relationships. So let's look at this more specifically. Make it a little bigger. So in terms of cellular respiration, you've got glucose plus oxygen goes to give you ATP, carbon dioxide, and water. So when you're thinking about the systems of the digestive system, the respiratory system, and the circulatory system, you need to think about where are these things coming into play and how are they moving around within the body. So if we go over to page 285, we're going to see some information about how the circulatory system works with all the other body systems in order to maintain homeostasis. So sort of a steady state in our body. So the circulatory system interacts directly with all the other systems in the human body. Through these interactions, it helps to maintain homeostasis, so like a balance in our body. So, for example, all living cells in the body need water, nutrients, and oxygen to survive. The circulatory system delivers these to the cells in each system as it transports blood. So, if you go back over here and you're thinking about the delivery of some of these things into the body and how it moves around, you could think about the impact that the circulatory system has with that. And you could add arrows to things that you feel it would be a part of delivering throughout the body, and maybe add a little text box of information of how it helps in that delivery. So other components in the blood defend the body against disease and injury. That's not as much what we're looking at in terms of that equation. Water in the blood also holds heat, keeps it the same temperature, So you can pull some information that you can add to this diagram about the function of the circulatory system and how it helps with some of these pieces that are involved in cellular respiration. So now let's look at the other two systems that it's talking about. So the respiratory system and the digestive system. So if we look over here, we can see the respiratory system. What does it do? Blood vessels transport gases to and from the lungs. Blood services the respiratory organs. Gas exchange in the lungs rids the body of carbon dioxide, helping it to regulate the pH of the blood. So if you go back over here, you should be able to make some links to oxygen as well as carbon dioxide, and how the respiratory system aids in the delivery or the release of those gases within the system. And you may make some connections to how these two systems are helping each other to do that. The next part that you're going to look at is your digestive system. So your digestive system, what does it do? Blood vessels transport nutrients from the digestive tract to the body. Blood services the digestive organs. So you can see already that you can make the connection that the blood is going to service these digestive organisms and help to move things around, just like it did for the respiratory system. And what else does the digestive system do? It provides nutrients for blood cell formation. Liver detoxifies blood, makes plasma, proteins, destroys old red blood cells. So if we go back over here, you're going to think about the digestive system and how does it either deliver parts into this equation. So for cellular respiration, and you can make some connections for the digestive system to something like glucose, and then think about how it would connect to your circulatory system. So this diagram can become what you want it to become. You can make connections, you can add text boxes, you could write in what the systems are doing based on the information that you find over here as well as up here. So you're thinking about how these three systems work together in the process of cellular respiration. And again, that's why I think you should do this activity first. It's going to help you out a little more if you do learning task 10-1 first. Okay. And then the final thing that you're going to do after you've made the edits on there, you're just going to insert it. And then you've just got your questions for what your tour guide asked today. So I can't remember if I've added this to the rubric yet, but I will be adding this to the tour journal rubric for the culminating for tour journal 10. And again, I would advise make sure you have done activity 10-1 first before you do 10-2. Okay, so those are the changes to Activity 10. I think you guys are going to like the fact that the textbook links are there, and I think it's going to be fairly straightforward as you move through it. Reach out if you have questions.